We are releasing today a compendium of research that shows that there is some really important research out there that is not being a part of the discussion regarding effectiveness for abstinence education. This booklet entitled Abstinence Works is a part of, most of you should have received that today. It is available online to order if you haven't. Research has acknowledged that it takes about 10 years or one generation before we begin to see any kind of empirical evidence for any new approach. Well, abstinence education, as funded on a national basis, is just at that 10-year mark. So what would we expect? We would expect to begin to see some research showing the effectiveness of abstinence education. We would be expecting to see some very early research. Well, the Abstinence Works booklet shows that we have more than just beginning research. We have some pretty compelling research as well. There's credible evidence that this program, as it increases in maturity, we can expect to see even more rigorous research come out of that. But even at this early stage, there are a minimum of 40 studies, some of which show statistically significant changes in behavior as a result of abstinence education. Others show statistical significance in areas that predict abstinent behavior, all of which are very important and are very compelling, particularly since we are so early in the research for this new approach. Critics insist that there isn't any research for effectiveness, that there's no peer-reviewed, journal-published articles to that extent. But that's simply not true. Abstinence Works also addresses the Mathematica study that is often used to be the end-all, the final word on abstinence education. But that is not the case as well, and it's very important that you take a look at that piece. Abstinence Works really makes a key point, and that is the critics are wrong. The report highlights these 40 different studies that show statistically significant results for abstinence education, and there were others that we could have included but didn't, because we only included those that had been peer-reviewed to this point. Additionally, today we are launching the Abstinence Works website, which gives an abundance of additional information that is helpful for seeing why abstinence education is an important approach and why it is also important that it continues, specifically in light of the results that we are beginning to see. You know, we can talk an awful lot about research, but it's really the individuals who it touches beyond the statistics that really make the compelling story and really make a difference in good decision making. And we're very pleased that we have two young people who I have just had a joy of meeting, and they're going to present their personal stories of how abstinence education has been life-changing for them. The first is Thomas Michael Askew, and he started down what he would say it was a very dangerous path as a young boy in New York City, until an abstinence program gave him the skills to make some amazing changes in his life. The second person, Carla Jacquez, will share how her abstinence program in her school helped her become the first female in her family to graduate high school. We are very pleased to have a foremost researcher for adolescent sexual health and other risk behaviors here to share some new research that he has done. Dr. Stan Weed has spent over 25 years serving adolescents through evaluation and research, and he's interviewed thousands of students, conducted research on over 500,000 students across the United States, and he is going to help us take a very objective look at the research for both comprehensive sex education and abstinence education. He's going to describe a criteria that puts both of these strategies on a grid and then look at what the results really show. Since comprehensive sex education has been funded 4 times as long as abstinence education, we should expect for that research to be much more rigorous and much more compelling than an early program such as abstinence education that is only in the end of the first generation. We'll see if the research really does show that, and I think you'll be interested at what we learn. How do I just close it?